Bye.
For a certain amount of, the right components, and given the same chemical composition, life will start on that planet, using the Earth as an example. The next probability in this statement would be what would be the fraction. Oh, okay, I think I just said that twice. What would be the fraction of an actual intelligent life that would okay, I should read this right the way it is. Fraction of life that eventually evolved into intelligent life forms. Well, as we analyze every life species there are on this planet, we notice that everything evolves, adapts, Darwinian processes. What do you mean by Darwinian? Darwinian processes. Yeah. That every life, no matter what life form you look at, it adapts to its environment. It always evolves into something higher, something better, so it can adapt or be more superior to its environment. So this probability would be a valid statement using the Earth as an example again, that any life form you have, it would always strive to become an intelligent life form. But yet the probability is very slow because there are billions of species on this planet, and there is only one that would be considered an advanced intelligent life form, and I think that's us. And I think that's us. The last one would be the lifetime in years of a technically advanced civilization. Now this is totally kind of an educational guess. Because, if we use the Earth as a technically advanced civilization, we're only talking maybe 60 to 100 years. We've been around and be able to use this technology, electronics, computer, space technology, the ability, to be considered actually an advanced civilization that we have the ability to talk to. See, this is the thing I want to differentiate with here too, is that the major purpose of this equation is the actual number of people out there we can talk to, And what I want to change this equation. I want to change it to actually what is the probability of there being advanced civilizations out there. That's what I think that would be better. So I'm going to scratch this. I'm going to just say, well, I'll throw that in anyway. Anyway, I'll say a value that's typically accepted by the proponents of the Drake's equation is for the values within here, yields a value of the number of civilizations in our universe as 200,000 advanced civilizations. Now that's just in our galaxy. If we use the same figure for each galaxy, that's 200,000 multiplied by 100 billion. Now maybe the first thing that probably strikes up in your mind is that, well, how come there's not 200,000 just in our own galaxy buzzing around here? Well, Einstein, just to answer that one somewhat, that many scientists feel that the problem is the space barrier problem. It's it's extremely vast area between each star, and Einstein says that on the theory of relativity that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. And right now, presently, with today's technology, or even foreseeing with 20 to 40 years technology, we're not even going to even come close to the speed of light, and we're not even at a fraction of it now. And to travel to the nearest star only would take 4 years one way at the speed of light. And today's technology would take 40 years at present-day technology. So that could be the barrier, that the physical, natural barrier there is in the universe of why we can't, why it would be unfeasible to go out and investigate other planetary civilizations. Just stick to your own planet. I don't know if I should throw that in. Maybe I should just say to them, this is what it's expected. I shouldn't even bother to say why. What do you think?
No, I think it's good to tell why.
Does it tell why?
The part where you said you don't, the theory part where you said, I don't agree with the theory part, that you said that we don't need to communicate, that we just need to discover about, just need to find out how many.
Yeah, you like that?
That part, I don't know if you should add that in.
What do you mean? Oh, you think I should just keep it, this is the
formula, this is it, and then don't.
That actually predicts.
I don't think you should criticize the formula. I think maybe.
No, I'm not going to criticize it.
No. I think that you should just say, no, because you say, oh, I would change the formula, or that type of thing.
I wouldn't say that to them, though. I'm saying to you.
Okay. Okay. No, but everything looks good. Yeah, I think you should explain to them because I don't, being a person, I don't know that much about it. I want to know why, and I'm sure all the people in here don't know that much about it.
Yeah.
They want to know why, and I think it'd be helpful to know it.
I'm going to run through it one more time. Could you please stand up there by the podium? I just want to see if this thing is. on there pretty good. Yeah, I think I can come down a little on this. Let's see.
So you didn't have, are you going to have any notes set up at all, or are you just going to talk?
Just that.
An outline? Maybe you should have an outline.
Honey,
What?
do me a favor.
Huh.
See if see if my head is past this. Look inside the top of that. See if, can you see? Is my head chopped off?
Well, the number, the bottom of the number is just on top of your head. I mean, it's on your head.
Is it 199?
Yeah.
It's still, okay, that's good though. I think so. No, I think it should raise it up. Well, actually, let's see. Stand by, record review. All right, here I go. I'm going to try it again. Ah, ya Allah. Here we go again. Let's try this again. Take two. It does take practice. Anything takes practice.
You should have an outline though.
I like speech though.
Did you go on the
I'm going to use this. Well, this is too general.
You should have an outline of each of the things you're going to be talking about. That way you stick right to your time limit.
Yeah, I know.
If you get yourself off a tangent, you're going to...
You're right.
I mean, point form, just knock down the things that you're going to talk about.
Okay. See, when I look at this, I want to read from it, but they're so general.
You could do that when you get home, just, point form it, what your speech is going to be.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to tell you the fact that there are probably about 200,000 advanced civilizations out there in our galaxy alone, the Milky Way galaxy. Now, I'd even go as far as to say that there are... No, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to tell you that there are about 200,000 advanced civilizations in our galaxy alone. Our galaxy is an average galaxy containing 100 billion stars. A star being a sun just like our own. Don't differentiate the name. They mean both the same. We only call our star a sun because it's the giver of warmth and heat to our life existence. So we give it a special name, the sun. But it is a star, just like every white dot you see up in the sky at night, except for some of those planets or the moon that gets reflected by some sunlight. But nevertheless, those are 100 billion stars, each with the potential possibility of giving heat and warmth to a possible planet. And now, I said this is in the Milky Way galaxy. There are also 100 billion galaxies in the universe. That means that 100 billion multiplied by 100 billion, being the number of stars within each galaxy, is an extremely large amount of possible numbers of civilizations there are in the universe. Now, how did I come up with this quantifiable amount of 200,000? I get this number by the name of Frank Drake. He was a scientist back in the 60s who was the first person who tried to quantify the number of existing civilizations out there in the universe that are trying to communicate with us presently. I am going to use that. I changed my mind. Maybe then I won't. That want to communicate with us presently. He uses scientific intuition, some scientific facts, and educational guesses, because we don't know, but he uses educational guesses. And I want to tell you all this because I think everybody wants to know who's out there. I think, quoting from my psychology book, quoting some sections out of my psychology book, humans are a social being. They want to know everything around them. They don't like to be left in the dark. They want to know as much as possible, especially about the unknown. So that's what I'm going to do today. That's what I'm going to tell you today about the unknown of the advanced civilizations that are in the universe. Yeah. Okay, so let's get right to it. The Drake equation looks like this, which I already have it on the board. It's not a hard equation. No integrals, no derivatives. So when you get more calm, you can say funny things like this. You like that? It's okay. It's not a funny equation. It's not a very difficult equation. Don't be worried. There's no integrals, derivatives, summations, or anything. It's just a straightforward probability equation. N representing the number of advanced civilizations out there that want to communicate with us, and it's equal to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he even left one out too. 6. Oh, 6. Check when I get done. It's equal to. I won't even say the number. It's equal to a certain. It's equal to several probabilities, and the first being R, the average rate of star formation in our galaxy. Now, the average rate of star formation in our galaxy. Let me explain that. In our galaxy alone, there are 100 billion stars. The life expectancy of a star is 10 billion years. So 100 billion divided by 10 billion, you get 10 stars per year. That's the value you use in this equation for R. That's the value you use for R. F of P, which is the fraction of stars that have planetary companions. Using our own solar system, look at it. There's 9 planets. Even the planets have moons. Even some moons have. I got to find out if that's true. Even some moons have moons. We throw satellites into space; they seem to rotate. It's a law of physics that it's nothing special to have something orbiting around another body. So that variable there is just only to estimate, what fraction of stars would have planetary companions, and just looking at our own solar system, it seems very high. The next variable, N of E, I don't even bother looking at it, they can see it. The next variable, N of E, is the number of planets with suitable ecospheres to support the chemical evolution. That's a pretty good probability. Scientists have been noticing meteorites and comets that fall into Earth, and they contain all the carbon compounds required for life on Earth. Not only that, all 5 amino acids that are involved in DNA and RNA have been found in outer space, and a certain amount of other amino acids. I don't know. I'll just keep it at the amino acid level. Have been found in outer space. What should I say about that? I'll keep it at that. Yeah, so okay, I'll say, so that's another fraction we should keep in the secret. We should keep, it's not like I'm going to throw it out. So that's another variable we're going to have in this in the equation. F of L. F of L is the fraction of planets with suitable ecospheres which life actually starts. Okay. Well, given a planet and that has a suitable ecosphere, meaning that if it has the right amount of carbon, if it has the right amount of elements on the planet itself, will it start? Well, looking at the Earth itself, as soon as science tells us, as soon as the oceans formed on Earth, right away life started here on this planet. Fossils have shown that. So it seems to be a very straightforward process. That life, given the environment, life would start right away. Okay. The next variable would be the fraction of life that eventually evolved into intelligent life forms. This is good. I like this stuff. It's good to practice. You get to, Mm-hmm. Everything is practice. So that would be a great masterful speaker. Mm-hmm. You watch. I'm thinking to myself, all the little things you do, you can't do. Sometimes you have gestures. But I like this though. I like that. Maybe just don't move it around. I don't do that. I like to just stay up like this. He says don't do this.
Don't lean on it.
Yeah. He says
but you can put your hand there. Yeah. Support yourself.
Okay. F of I is the fraction of life that eventually evolved into intelligent life forms. Again, looking at our own planet, we notice every species, any species you want to choose according to Darwinian processes, everything wants to evolve into a higher form and wants to be more superior and more adaptable to its environment. It'll always strive for a higher level. We've known that in every species. But this equation is looking for something that's advanced and intelligent, that has the ability to communicate with other advanced civilizations such as ourselves, and that's what this equation is looking for. So what's the probability of that? Well, looking at this own planet, we're 1 out of billions, so this value is going to be extremely small, but yet what it represents is that, what's the probability of life evolving into something intelligent, and life does that. Life does that. It's its innate behavior. L, the last term is L. The lifetime years of a technically advanced civilization. And this one's a totally subjective statement. A lifetime of years in a technically advanced civilization. Using the Earth as its own, we only been around, advanced, being able to communicate with other worlds, maybe 80, not even 80 years, maybe 40 to 80 years. I'll pick a number then. 40 to 100 years we can only use for the Earth. And how far can we go? I mean, are there some civilizations that are out there that's been around for 500 years, a million years, 1,000 years? Can we say that about Earth? Or, aren't every day we're on the brink of war, or we're on the brink of total peace? Or, are other nations plagued with that same type of strife? Strife? Strife's a good word?
Where's strife in?
I don't know, I read it somewhere. Strife is like, strife is like the problem you got. Yeah, strife is right.
Ah! These people crap as shit.
Okay, that describes the entire equation, and I'm going to briefly go over it by saying to you that, granted, it's all probabilities, some of it factually based, a lot of it replicating what we have in our own solar system, just replicating what life just does. If you give it the right circumstances, this is what it will produce. So replicating the Earth, but using a lot of pessimism, because that's, I should describe that. Well, anyway, so just using the Earth as a model and our own solar system as a model, and knowing that the same compounds that are on Earth that are needed for life is found anywhere in the universe. The values that we get here, supported by the proponents of the Drake equation, yield a number of 200,000 civilizations, advanced civilizations, in our galaxy alone. That's not counting any other galaxy. That's just our galaxy alone, because we used the value of 100 billion originally. Oh, that's where it came from. Now I figured it out. Because that's where the 100 billion came from in the R. And so, accepted value, okay. Conclusion. I hope that I enlightened everyone on the specific approach of estimating the possibility of life other than on Earth. That was 10 minutes and 30 seconds. But I bullshitted a lot.
Well, you have to make sure you have it written out, outlined, so that you only do 6 minutes. Because if you go over, then you'll get...
Well,
you get time to stop.
I see him. He gets in the bag. He's like this because people go for everybody goes long because nobody really practices and really, nobody does this really.
They probably get marked for that,
Oh, no, probably does. Oh, Becky. You want to hear it one more time?
What?
I'd like to.
Okay.
Okay, take 3. Here we go. This time I'm just going to try and blow through it. I don't want to stop. And remind me if I want to talk to you, don't let me talk to you. All right? Just keep going, Sam. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to tell you about the possibility of 200,000 advanced civilizations out there in our galaxy alone that are trying to communicate with us. Science tells us there are 100 billion stars in our galaxy alone. There are 100 billion galaxies in our universe. And the value that I came up with, 200,000, I get from an equation called Drake's equation. He was the first man ever to want to quantify all the possible civilizations that are in our galaxy. I want to tell you about this equation and how and all the variables in it, and see how he comes about it. Because I think everybody should know, using the scientific approach, if there are any existing life forms in our galaxy. I think everybody should know this because I think everybody's curious. I think everybody has curiosity.
Everybody's curious.
Yeah, because I think everybody's curious. The majority of us would like to know if there's anyone out there. Also, just quoting from my psychology book, it tells us that we're all social beings. We like to know if there's anybody else out there. And, we don't like to be left in the dark. We just want to know
About the unknown.
About the unknown, definitely. Thank you, audience. So, this is the Drake's equation. It's nothing fabulous or difficult or extravagant. No integrals, no derivatives or summations. It's a straight equation with variables that are all probabilities. And he's using educational guesses. Now let me show you each variable. N, which is the number of intelligent civilizations which we're trying to derive, that are trying to communicate with us. I'm not going to try and derive, Drake did not try and derive something that, well, you know, you got something out there, something can grow out. If it's mold, it could be anything. We're looking for advanced civilizations that can communicate with us. That's all we really care about. Okay, that's what this equation is about. So, N is equal to R. First, we've got to quantify, well, gee, how can we quantify that value? First, we need to quantify R. R being the average rate of star formation in our galaxy. In our galaxy alone, there are 100 billion stars. The average life expectancy of each is about 10 billion years. So dividing 100 billion into 10 billion, you get 10 stars per year. So that's the value of R. F of P is the fraction of stars that have planetary companions. Looking at our own solar system, we see that we got 9 planets. We got a lot of moons rotating around the planets. It doesn't seem to be a strange phenomenon to have orbital planets around a star. It seems to be a natural phenomenon. I mean, we even throw satellites up and they seem to rotate. If you give it the right orbit, the right speed, it'll proceed in its orbit. So having the fraction of stars that have planetary companions is a, I don't want to explain it. I'll just say that's what it is. I shouldn't go into detail with it. Okay. N of E would be the number of, N of E comes from this, meaning that it's the number of planets that have suitable ecospheres to support the chemical evolution. Well, scientists have analyzed comets and meteorites that fall from outer space, and they all contain carbon, which is the life giver on this planet. Everything that uses carbon. Every living organism on this planet uses carbon. Not only that, they find all 5 key amino acids in DNA and RNA. All have been found from outer space. So it doesn't seem to be a unique probability. It doesn't seem to be a unique characteristic of Earth only. It is abundant in our solar system at least. F of L being the fraction of planets with suitable ecospheres with which life actually starts. Using our Earth again, geology shows us that right after the oceans have formed on Earth, and we had the carbon. Well, I'm just going to say the ocean. As soon as the oceans were formed on Earth, life immediately was produced. According to fossil records, it immediately happened. So, given the right circumstances, life will automatically happen. Given the right, that's what I'm going to say. Given the right chemical contents on the planet, life should originate. There's also another statement I should use. Yeah, maybe I can use it. Also, scientists have been experimenting with oxygen-free life inducement. I got to read that statement at home. Also, scientists have been experimenting with oxygen-free. You know what I mean by that? Oxygen-free is not like you have to have oxygen to start life. I mean, you can have an oxygen-free environment to start the key components in the chemical evolution. F of I, now this is what we're looking for. F of I is a fraction of life that eventually evolved into intelligent life forms. Using the Earth again, I mean, examine any life form on this planet. All of it seems to strive higher and higher. It always adapts to its environment, no matter what. Whenever you watch those nature shows, PBS shows, those nature shows, I'm going to stick at that. Whenever you watch those nature shows, I'm just so awed at it. Every species there is out there, it always adapts to its environment. It always, by Darwinian processes, it strives for a more intelligent being itself, okay? In order to survive. So, but what we're looking for is the fraction of life that evolved into an intelligent life form, such as ourselves. And we're one in billions on this planet only. But given the right circumstances, and I think probably any species out here will probably, given a few more millions of years, they would probably all form into something extremely intelligent. I mean, that's what science has told us, that we came from the sea ourselves. So it seems that any species would probably, given the right amount. That's a good statement. You know that? Mm-hmm. Science tells us that we came from the sea ourselves. That's amazing when you just say that. You know that? That we came from the sea ourselves. So given the time, any species might, given the right amount of time, any species could evolve into something intelligent. L is the lifetime years of a technically advanced civilization. That's entirely subjective, this probability. Using the Earth, so far the minimum we have is about 80 years. I mean, well, you know, we just got radio communication. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for something, advanced civilization we can talk to. So within 80 years, this is when we had radio astronomy, when we were able to try, you know, we tried to send tangible messages out into outer space to see if we get any feedback. And using the Earth as an example is only 80 years, but the universe has been around for billions of years. Could something have been developed before? And, you know, could something in the universe have been developed earlier and what should I say? And, you know, that are still existing? Or do they go through the same plight as man? Always on the verge of extinction every day through war, or are we going to come to a point that we're really going to be able to create stability and move on as a truly advanced life form and be around for thousands of years and colonize space? So an L is an entirely subjective statement, but the values that I have, supported by the proponents of the Drake equation. Oh, ya Allah, I'm going to try this one more time. It's on record. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to tell you about the possibility of 200,000 advanced civilizations growing in our galaxy alone. Science has showed us that there are 100 billion galaxies in our entire universe, and each galaxy contains 100 billion stars sitting in their own. Actually, ours contains about 280 billion, but we're just going to use an average value for all of them. Now, stars and sun, just like our own, don't differentiate the name. We only give ours a special name because it is the single provider of warmth and life to our own planet. So we give it a special name called the sun. But the sun is a planet, and there are billions of them out there, and they all have the possible opportunity to give life and warmth to another planet. And the value that I gave you of 200,000 comes from a special equation developed by Frank Drake. He was a man back in the 1960s who developed this equation. He was the first person to actually try to quantify the number of civilizations out there using educational guesses, with scientific reasoning. Okay? Now, I want to tell you this because I think curiosity is a trait in all of us. I think the majority of us would like to know if there's anyone out there. Quoting from my psychology book, it states that, you know, we're all social beings. We all like to know if there's, you know, we all like to know about our environment, or, you know, about our surrounding area. Or I should just read from this. It says that we're all social beings, all of us with the desire to communicate with someone, especially the unknown. I should read out of this. Humans in general don't want to be left out, don't want to be left in the dark. We want to know our environment and our existence. So, given that, this is the Drake's equation I have written on the board. I'm going to show you all the variables in the equation. See the process that I'm using too, Christy? Okay, I'm just going to close. What the hell is this? Oh, I was good there. You know that? I started off pretty good, didn't I? Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it again. Do you mind? One more time, okay? I think it gets smoother as you go. Mm-hmm. You know? You do? Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to tell you about the probability of 200,000 advanced civilizations there are in our galaxy that are trying to communicate with us right now. I gave you this value because there are 100 billion stars in our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, and there are 100 billion galaxies in our universe. That's an astronomical number. And what is a star? A star is a sun just like our own. Don't differentiate the name. We only give it a special name. I need to elaborate that because I've met so many people who think the sun is something different. Don't differentiate the name. We only give the sun, our star called the sun, a special name because it's the provider of life and warmth on our planet. We call it the sun. It's a star just like anything else, and then all of them out there have the characteristic of giving heat and warmth to any planet that could be rotating around it. Now I get the value of 200,000 from an equation called Drake's equation. A man who tried to quantify this number back in 1960 using educational guesses and scientific reasoning. I think you should know about this equation because I think curiosity is a trait in all of us. I think the majority of us would like to know if there is anyone out there. Quoting from my psychology book, I'll just read this. Also quoting from my psychology book, it says that we are all social beings, all of us with the desire to communicate with someone, especially the unknown. Actually, I would stand up more stronger, more bold with my back hurts, you understand? Humans in general don't want to be left out in the dark. We want to know our environment and existence. So given that, I'm going to introduce the Dray's equation. This is it. And I'm going to show you each variable in the equation. Okay? N being the number of intelligent civilizations that are in the universe that we're trying to communicate with. This equation doesn't try and reason, well, a planet that has moss growing on or a lower form of species. We're trying to find, scientists, especially all those guys, especially the billions that we're spending to communicate with planets other than our own. We'd like to know how many are out there. I'll just get off that. Number of intelligent civilizations. R is equal to the average rate of star formation in our galaxy. There is an average of 100 billion stars in a galaxy. The average life expectancy of a star is about 10 billion years. Divide that through and you get about 10 stars per year. That's the value used for R. F of P is the fraction of stars that have planetary companions. Looking at our own solar system, we see that it's not a special phenomenon, that have a planetary companion. There's 9 of them, even with moons rotating around, planets. We can even send satellites up and they seem to go in an orbit. It's a law of physics. It's nothing special. It seems to be a natural phenomenon to have bodies, to easily get into an orbit. And what's the probability of there being planets rotating around another star? So that's a probability factor. N of E is the number of planets with suitable ecospheres to support the chemical evolution. Taking some things out of my astronomy book, taking some facts out of my astronomy book, it tells us that the meteorites and comets that fall into Earth contain carbon, which is the life giver for all life species on this planet. Not only that, all 5 key components of DNA and RNA have been found in outer space. So there's nothing special about, there's nothing really special about the planet Earth as to the chemical components to support it. They are abundant in our solar system at least. F of L is the fraction of planets with suitable ecospheres with which life actually starts. Using the Earth again, geologists and scientists tell us that right after the oceans have formed on this planet, life started right away by analyzing fossil records. Life started right away. Let me rephrase that again. According to geologists and many other scientists, as soon as the oceans have formed on this planet, life originated right away, according to fossil records and carbon dating. It seems to be a straightforward process, so it doesn't seem to be a miracle. Even experiments done in an oxygen-free environment have produced rich yields of amino acids. This is also sources that I'm quoting from my astronomy book. And F of I being the fraction of life that eventually evolved into intelligent life forms. Oh, okay, this is going to work out perfect. Okay, this one here is another entirely subjective statement, but using the Earth again, according to Darwinian processes, it seems that every species they always strive for intelligence. I mean, you look at anything, if you watch nature shows on TV, any species you have, it always adapts to its environment. You know that? It always adapts to its environment. It always wants to be stable, wants to be in harmony with its environment. It wants the best it can get out of its environment. So it seems that every species always tries to strive for a higher level. Scientists told us that we came from the sea. And probably given the right amount of time for any species out there, they could probably all evolve into something intelligent, comparable to our own, or if not better or worse. But I think time is a key factor, and anything can evolve into something. And according to Darwin, everything always evolves higher and higher. We fortunately have been, fallen into the human category group. L is equal to the lifetime years of a technically advanced civilization. Entirely subjective view. Entirely subjective variable. Using the Earth, maybe 60 years we have a value, don't we? And when we just developed radio communication, that we were able to go out there and try and talk to somebody from outer space. We just developed that 60 years ago or so. And, well, who's to say that, you know, can we use 60? What average value should we use? Like, the universe has been around for billions of years. Maybe there's been another civilization that's been here a million years ago, billion years ago. And are they still around? Are they colonizing certain areas, or are they sticking to their own area? Or what value do we use for the lifetime of an advanced civilization? It's an entirely subjective view. Are they in the same plight as man, where every day is the verge of extinction or the enrichment of our civilization? Entirely subjective, but yet it's a statement that we need to use. And all these variables that I gave you, typical values, average values of optimism, pessimist, you know, like me, I'm an optimist. I would always put high values in there. I don't think there's really, I might even be one of that. Typical values supported by proponents of the Drake's equation yield a value of 200,000 in our galaxy alone. Now, I'll just elaborate on that. How come there's not 200,000 beings racing around in here? Just to give you a, I'm not even going to say that. That was super minutes. That's good enough. Let's get that out of here.
Yeah, I think you're getting the hang of that.
I tell you, the practice works beautifully. I tell you.
You just need to outline and make sure you don't go over the time limit. Okay?
Well, I think it's, I don't know, I think it was 4 to 6. I don't remember.
If you can get your points, because I hear you saying the same points over again, but
Oh, yeah?
decided to change it a little bit. You need to be like well organized, where you know exactly what you're going to say, and it's calculated out to the 6-minute time limit.
Everything's practice. You know, like the president and everybody else, they rewrite from everything word for word.
Well, and they have it scheduled, like the first point, second point, third point, and they have it, you know, right down to the seconds.
I want to learn more about this. This is a good